Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 4th, or May 10th. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I was recording. And it said the number 4 on my recorder. So there you go. But May 10th here, Taurus. We're going to just jump right in here. We're going to take a look at your current general energies in this first row. In your second row, we are going to look at what is where you can have the most luck this week. And in your last row, we're going to look at how you can move mountains. I will explain that reading at the end, just so you know. We're also going to pull 3 yes or no question cards at the end. So I will give you time to pause the video and think of your questions there. But Taurus, let's see what is going on for you. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising as well for a full picture of what is going on for you at this time, Taurus. But Taurus, let's see. In your first row here for your current general energies, you have the mouse spirit. It says tend to the small things. So obviously I feel that it could be like a very detail-oriented week where kind of like the small details or the small things are going to be important for you. The reason... the energy that I'm getting here is more of like preparation. It's almost like I feel that this mouse, it has a bunch of flowers under it here, and I feel like almost this mouse has gathered all those flowers for a reason. So for a lot of you, I get more of kind of like this preparation type energy in your first row, where it's like you're preparing for something that is going to require your energy. So I feel like that's why you are preparing for something. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Hangman, and the Moon card here. And it's almost like, what I would say here with the moon is you don't know how much you need. I feel like, in a lot of ways, I feel like this is saying you don't necessarily know even how much energy you need to prepare for something that's about to happen in your life. So this is going to be something where you're kind of just like gathering your resources. Maybe that's a better way to put it here with this energy. I don't even think you necessarily know what you're preparing for because of this Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is like an energy of planting seeds. It's like an energy of putting work into multiple different things and kind of like seeing what grows. That is definitely a message that's popping into my head. If you're trying, in any area of your life, I feel that would be a good approach. In love, for example, it's like maybe you're trying to find love. I would try multiple different ways of finding love. Maybe you need to try Tinder. Maybe you need to try one of the other ones, whatever they are. I have no clue. Maybe you need to try speed dating. I feel like this is saying that almost like a shotgun approach, like trying multiple different things will work really well. Same thing in like your business or whatever. It's like maybe you think you want to be on YouTube, but maybe like Instagram would be better, or maybe Twitter would be better. I don't think anybody uses Twitter anymore, but whatever. What I would say here is I almost get this more like experimentation energy. And I also would say that trying, different ways of doing things is going to be important as well here, Taurus, with the Hangman energy, because the Hangman is seeing things from a new perspective or gaining a new perspective. So kind of interesting here, because again, I feel like pretty much this is saying that for the most part that you will be most successful if you just stay open. It's kind of weird because I feel like you will. Like I don't even feel like I need to say this to you, because I feel like you are going to be staying open to different ways of doing things. I do feel like you're kind of more, I do get like more of an open energy is what I'm trying to spit out here. Yeah, well, you have this porcupine spirit if it wants to focus. Here, Taurus, I guess not. It says time for beginner mindset. So I do feel like, even if you have a lot of experience doing something, again, looking for new ways of doing things, or kind of like being, kind of holding on to that beginner mindset would be a really good idea as well. Again, there's someone, back in the day, I had a marketing agency that I ran, and I did work in marketing, and there was a guy who I would watch all the time, basically, who did the same thing. And one thing he always talked about is how when he would go to like meetings or not meetings, but like conferences and things like that, he would always go to the beginner conferences. He would always go to, like, if there were like different rooms where people could learn, right? He would always go to the beginner one, even though he wasn't a beginner. He was considered an expert. And people would always be like, "Why are you here?" It's like, you already know this stuff. And what he said is it was always the beginner stuff that he forgot. It wasn't the super complicated stuff that he was forgetting, like in business. It was always like the beginner stuff. It was always the simple stuff. So I feel like that would be benefit. That popped into my head. I haven't thought about that in years, Taurus. So I feel like kind of like that beginner stuff could be the stuff you're forgetting. I also feel like sometimes it's like, if in work or career, for example, if you've been in the same industry for a long time, things change, right? So it's like, that's why it could be a good time or a good thing for you to kind of learn from the beginning how to do something. Same thing in love. It's like, if you haven't experienced love in a long time, it's like things have changed. Things are different. Yeah, you have the Five of Cups here. I feel, I'm getting fears for some reason on this card, so I would let go of your fears. I do feel like I kind of get the whole duality thing here with that card, where it's kind of like maybe you're wishing things were like the way they used to be back in the day, right? Because maybe it was simpler in whatever area of your life you're trying to improve here. But really, I feel like that Five of Cups is saying, really, yeah, like things have changed, right? He's crying over these Three Cups because things are different. This card represents he is crying over spilt wine, basically. He has lost his taste for wine on this card. And these Two Cups are something new, but it's like he doesn't even know if he would like it or not. He hasn't even tried it. Not only that, if he does try it, he'll see this bridge that leads to this castle. So I feel like this is saying, yeah, like things have changed in some area of your life, but it's like this is a good thing. Yeah, you have the Seven of Wands. Be open to doing things differently. And the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is a card of convention. In a lot of ways, this first row is just saying, be open to new ways of doing things. I do also feel there could be love coming in here for you. But I feel like you could be dealing with a person who's like very closed off at this time. But just right now, for some of you, I feel either you have your eye on someone or they have their eye on you. It could be a Pisces because you have the Hangman and the Moon here, and you keep getting Pisces in your readings. But I feel like someone is just not open right now to this. So, it might be one of those things where you just have to wait. Next, in the area of where you are most lucky this week, you have the Mending card. Love it. I mean, this card of healing. It's a card of resting, relaxing, recovering, all those things. So I feel like any healing or resting, relaxing, recovering that you could do would probably bring in a lot of luck for you here, Taurus. You have the King of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Ace of Wands here. So obviously there's a lot of luck in innovation and creativity. I would say that with the King of Wands energy as well, I feel the King of Wands plus this Ace of Wands, there's going to be a lot of luck in you creating new things, being very creative, trying new things. There's going to be a lot of luck as well and excitement. And what I mean by that is, if something is exciting to you, do it, is what this is saying. It will bring you a lot of luck. It's like sometimes I think we like try to force things to happen, especially if we're like in a tricky situation. It's like maybe we need money, but maybe you don't feel like working, right? Maybe you feel like going fishing or doing something else, right? I feel like this is saying, do that thing that you are thinking that excites you, that you want to do, because that's probably where you're going to get your answers. I always tell people, it's like if you need money, for example, or if you need love, it's like probably the worst thing that you could be doing is like focusing on that one thing that you need, because it's like when we need something, that's when we push it away. But it's like, so I would, say that there's a lot of luck in you being creative or doing things that excite you, not necessarily doing things that excite you, or not necessarily doing things that you need to do. You have the Four Cups here as well. So I feel, again, trying new things is going to be very beneficial for you. Pretty much, it's kind of weird because it's like this week, all of a sudden, pretty much all the signs have had something about, trying something new, doing something different, being very lucky. So I would just try something new, which came up in your first row here. And again, the Four Cups is a card of apathy, and, it could say that you are actually very lucky at this time at manifesting things, but you need to see the manifestation. I always tell people, it's like, I just said this to one of the other signs I read for. I don't remember who it was, but I was saying, like, if you try to manifest $1 million, it's like, what people need to realize is, like, you're not going to just manifest $1 million. You're going to manifest, like, the steps that it takes to make $1 million or to have $1 million. So for some of you, it's like, it's like you are manifesting the steps. It's like maybe you say, I want to manifest $1 million, and then maybe you feel like going fishing. It's like what you don't realize is that maybe going fishing is the thing that makes you come up with some sort of brilliant idea that makes you $1 million, right? It's like, it's the act of doing that thing. It's like sometimes I think people don't realize. It's like maybe you think I want to manifest $1 million, and maybe you're like, oh, I want to go work at Domino's Pizza, and maybe you're like, but why? Most people would look at that and be like, no, hell no, that's not going to help me make $1 million. But what you don't realize is maybe you work at Domino's, and maybe you're like, you know what? This pizza is the worst pizza on earth. I'm going to open my own pizza place, and that will make you $1 million. So I feel like we shoot ourselves in the foot when we're trying to manifest, especially with the Four of Cups, because it's like we're trying to be too logical. We're trying to say, oh, there's no way in hell this is going to attract what I want. Same thing in love. It's like maybe you want to attract love, and maybe your intuition, or maybe you have a feeling that you need to go for a walk, and maybe you're like, that's not going to help me find love. But you never know. You might bump into the love of your life going for a walk. So I feel like this is saying, like, follow those moments, right? But let's see here. You have the Hermit, so I feel like that's you kind of like shining your inner light. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles here, and the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like you're very resourceful at this time as well. I feel like sharing your resources, is going to also make you very lucky with the Hermit energy. So I feel the Hermit, he is shining his inner light. It's kind of contained though. It's like in a lantern, right? Even the Nine of Pentacles would represent sharing your energy. She has 6 pentacles on one side, and she has 3 pentacles on this other side over here, Taurus. And she's willing to give those 3 pentacles away. So I do feel that with this, plus the Knight of Pentacles as well, could be you being too cautious. It's almost like you have a lot to share. And I feel like you need to realize that in this reading here, Taurus, that you have a lot to offer. You have a lot to share with the world. And I feel like you need to let something out here in this middle row. It's like something is going to be very lucky for you, but it could be like sharing information. You could be guiding people through something as well, like teaching. You could be mentoring. You could be doing YouTube videos. You could be writing on a blog, pretty much anything. But any of that stuff, I feel like would be very lucky in this row. Love it. And your last row here for how you can move mountains, you have the Four of Cups as your overall energy. So again, I feel like the mountain, the thing that you're trying to achieve is to manifest your dream life, or to try to manifest like the grass being greener on the other side. So it's like you're trying to manifest a change where the grass will be greener. Basically, in this spread, we're going to look at your head, your heart, and how to make them one. As I always say, Greg Braden says when your head and your heart become one, you can move mountains. So in the area of your head, you have the Four of Swords, recovery. So I feel like for some of you, it's kind of like you're dreaming of receiving blessings. I feel like it is kind of like I feel like your quiet mind is going to the right place, is what I feel like saying on this Four of Swords. I feel like maybe at night you even have dreams of your dream life. I feel like for others that when you meditate and really get to that quiet place, or when you do something that isn't you worrying about everything, when you get away from the worries and when you quiet your mind, I feel like it's in the right place. It is going in the right direction. It is guiding you towards the things that you want. So I would try to stay in this place as much as you possibly can. I feel like your heart is dreaming. You have the Page of Cups. On the Page of Cups, she is very focused on this fish that is in this cup here, Taurus. And that fish is something she is imagining. So it's like your imagination, your heart is imagining very, very good energy, really, because the Swords energy would be logical. It would be like your head energy. The Cups energy would be like your heart energy. So your head and your heart are going in the right direction. What's the problem? Well, I do feel like the two things need to come together. It's like you can dream all day long about something you want, but unless you leave a comfort zone, 2 of Wands, leave a comfort zone, right? You need to make something happen with this 2 of Wands energy here. It's funny that the moon shows up here on this 2 of Wands. To me, the moon, as far as imagery and tarot is concerned, it could represent some sort of dream, wish, or goal, something that we're trying to accomplish, but we need to bring the moon down to earth. The moon can represent fears, mysteries, illusions. It's like she's holding the earth in her hands on this card. It's like she is looking up at this moon. She is looking at something that she wants to manifest. So I feel like what you need to do to move mountains is to kind of like leave a comfort zone, or bring something down to earth, make something real, whatever it is you're trying to manifest, right? And some of you might be saying, well, I want to, start my own television studio. And it's like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to do that. I'm like, well, number one, if that's your thinking, of course you're not going to do it. But number two, if you just get started, you have to start small with this energy. As I always say, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time is the answer. So I feel like you just need to take smaller bites. I feel like you need to take smaller steps with this energy, and that will make you very successful. So let's see here what is going on for you here, Taurus and Taurus. Let's clarify this row. You have the Star, dreaming. Like I said, you definitely, it's like right here, the Hermit has the star in his lantern right here. If it wants to focus, that is the star that's in his lantern. You just need to open up here with that star energy. You have the 3 of Wands, thinking of the future, planning. And you have the Eight of Wands, quick success. It's like once you get moving, you're like the 10th sign that gets this message. I mean, I just think it's in the astrology, right? It's like literally the astrology is like, you want to do something? Okay, do it. Like literally, it's just that simple. I would also say that with Neptune and Pisces, it's kind of like we could be thinking of doing something that is very imaginative, that is very unrealistic, unrealistic. But if there was ever a time where you could make something that unrealistic a reality, it would be right now. So I feel like for some of you, it's like you have a great potential to make something happen, but it's like you have to make it happen with that Eight of Wands energy. All right, I love it. So we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards now here, Taurus. And so we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 here. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions. Again, no life or death questions, please. And this is for entertainment purposes only. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain myself, but apparently I do based off of some of the comments I've been getting. But so for question number 1, we have the Page of Pentacles. I would say yes, good news coming in for you. For question number 2, I would say yes, Eight of Wands, quick success, abundance as well I'm getting. I feel like there's like a quick conclusion coming in with Eight of Wands. And for question number 3, I would also say yes, Six of Cups, love it. Definitely yes, yes, yes. Putting this all together, I just feel like there's obstacles being removed from your life. Six of Cups to me is like a gift from the universe. It's kind of like a card that says try again. There's something you want to manifest in your life. The Six of Cups says now would be a good time to try again. Like maybe you've wanted to have a business in the past and things didn't work out. This is saying do it again. Try again. Make it happen. Maybe you've wanted to start a new job in the past. This is saying again, try again. Make it happen basically. So I feel like you need to try something again. I'm getting a side message coming in right now as well, kind of like channeling. I feel like there are people who want to help you with that Eight of Wands, but you're going to have to find these people. It's almost like you're building up a it's like I'm trying to think of it's like Robin Hood is like popping into my head. He had the merry band, whatever, robbers or whatever it was called, right? It's almost like you're building up a team of people around you. This could be literal. This could also be figurative as well, as I always say, Taurus. It's like sometimes I think people forget that it's like we have the internet, right? It's like we can build a team of people around us, just like with YouTube. It's like I do this all the time. Like there are certain people on YouTube I watch all the time because they like get me motivated. They make me want to work harder. They make me want to do whatever, right? I consider those people part of my team. Some of those people are dead, right? There are people like Zig Ziglar, right? I watch him all the time on YouTube, all his videos on YouTube, because he's like one of those people. I consider him part of my team, right? And I feel like that's, for whatever reason, it popped into my head. I have to say it. I feel like it's going to be very important for you. So I would do that. But this looks amazing. So thank you for being here, Taurus. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. Really appreciate the support. But thank you, Taurus, and definitely enjoy your week.